When Melody Sherry quietly packed her bags and left Huntsville behind, no one saw what was coming next. There was no grand announcement, no tearful goodbye, just a silent move that would shake her entire world. She slipped away to Atlanta, not for fame or attention, but for peace. And yet, that simple act of choosing herself has set off chaos back home. Friends, family, and fans are all asking the same question: what really happened? Why did she walk away without saying a word? And what is she building now that has everyone talking? This isn't just another move, it's the start of something that could change everything. No cameras flashing, no whispered gossip, no Martell lurking in the background pretending to care. Just Melody, her kids, her vision board, and a quiet that finally sounded like peace. When she stepped into that new home, you could feel it. This wasn't the same woman running from chaos. This was a woman stepping into her own power, reclaiming everything that had been taken from her. But while Melody was rediscovering herself, Huntsville was buzzing, and not in a good way. Rumors spread like wildfire, and one name kept coming up: Destiny Payton. Not for a comeback or a new business win, but because word on the street said she'd been let go. Yes, you heard that right. Love and marriage Huntsville without Destiny. For some viewers, it was inevitable. For others, it hit like a shockwave. But if you'd been paying attention, the signs were there all along. Destiny came in strong, confident, stylish, someone fans wanted to see win. But somewhere along the way, her storyline lost its spark. The chemistry faded, her tension with Melody grew, and her once relatable moments started feeling rehearsed. What began as strength slowly turned into defense, and the audience could feel it. This wasn't just another cast change. This was the moment everything in Huntsville began to shift. And when your energy shifts, trust me, people notice. They talk, they whisper, and before long, the whole city's watching. Fast forward to the latest reunion, and Destiny looked like she'd already checked out. Her body language said it all. The eye rolls, the sharp replies, the attitude that screamed, "I don't care anymore." But the thing is, everyone else did. The cast felt it. The audience felt it. It wasn't tension anymore, it was detachment. Now picture this. Producers sitting in a conference room, reviewing next season's storylines. They start to notice a pattern. Every major moment still somehow ties back to Melody, even when she's not in the room. That's when reality TV turns into reality check. Because if the only time viewers care about you is when your name comes up next to someone else's, that's not your storyline, that's theirs. And let's be honest, Destiny and Melody's relationship was never just about friendship gone wrong. It ran deeper: envy, just about friendship gone wrong. It ran deeper: envy, competition, maybe even a little resentment. Melody had her brand, her music, her movement. She was building something real. Destiny had all the potential in the world, but she kept tripping over her own emotions. One day she wanted peace. The next she was online throwing shade, calling Melody fake or dramatic. But every time Melody won, Destiny's name came right back into the conversation. And that's the thing about reality TV. You can only ride someone else's spotlight for so long before the light fades. And when it does, you either evolve or you exit. Melody keeps coming up in every interview with Martell, the man who says he prioritizes his family. By now, it's almost comical. Every time Melody shares a picture of herself grinning in Atlanta, Martell finds a podcast to discuss recovery and co-parenting. It's been years, sir. Discuss recovery and co-parenting. It's been years, sir. Give it up. Fans are able to see through it. It's not about the children. It has to do with control. Martell senses his hold loosening as Melody flourishes. Even if it's through turmoil, he can't get enough of her enthusiasm. Arian Curry returns to Huntsville and does what she always does best: criticize the team from the sidelines. Melody made a mysterious post about women fleeing their truth as soon as the news of her move broke. It was not a subtle moment. Immediately, fans flooded the comments section, accusing her of being resentful and fixated. To be honest, they were correct. Like clockwork, Arian appears whenever Melody advances, reminding everyone that she is still lurking in the background. Destiny's circumstance, however, struck differently. She went live and made subtle comments about real women being silent while others cried for compassion. After rumors of her termination quickly spread, you could tell who that was directed at without a detective. Supporters quickly reminded her that when you have nothing to show for your quiet isn't strength. When people stopped purchasing your stories, Destiny Payton had no idea how rapidly the internet might change. She once went on to defend herself live, but it quickly devolved into a graveyard of disgruntled fans, memes, and critical remarks. The hate wasn't what hurt. The indifferent was the one. People lost interest. Before giving Destiny a second glance, they went on to discuss Melody's makeover, Martell's new chaos, and even Arian's disorganized posts. In reality TV, you're done when people stop talking about you. Rumors circulated among ins. people stopped talking about you. Rumors circulated among insiders that the production team had given up on attempting to keep Destiny's plot intact. All efforts to rebrand her failed. She was teasing a romance that abruptly ended in the middle of the season 1 minute, and she was operating a beauty business the next. The woman who used to have the charisma that attracted others now appeared to be performing. Supporters began to complain that she was too reserved for the cameras. A show cannot be built around a wall, and Destiny had turned into just that. Meanwhile, as Martell continued to stoke the fires, the commotion in Huntsville only got louder. His interviews were getting monotonous. In one way or another, each one comes full circle to Melody, eyes flashing toward the camera with that practiced sincerity. He would say, "I just want what's best for my family." However, everyone understood his true meaning. He missed being in the spotlight. The man who had previously destroyed his marriage was now upset that the woman he had destroyed was happier without him. To him, every picture of Melody grinning in Atlanta felt like a personal jab. Not to mention that Martell follows a pattern. He always manages to bring his name back into the public eye when it begins to fade. He maintains the drama by attending occasions without permission or making cryptic remarks about his ex. It's referred to as manipulation by certain supporters. Some refer to it as survival. In any case, the man is skilled at the game. However, the game has recently begun to play him. The public no longer finds the charm as compelling as it once did. The forced apologies, the victim play, and the "I've changed" speeches are all seen through by others. Melody's prospering in Atlanta in a way that is difficult to overlook. She has a full calendar of business panels, brand partnerships, and events. The same lady who once sobbed about betrayal on public television now enters rooms as if she owns them. And it's clarity, not arrogance. The folks who once profited from her skepticism are alarmed that she now recognizes her value. Her social circle has shrunk, but those who surround her are no longer gossips. They are forward-thinking, spiritual, and business-minded. It's a different energy. Huntsville continues to tremble as a result of her tranquility. Even though it's clear she's not looking back, it is clear that Destiny is resentful. Unresolved pain is evident in every cryptic message she publishes and defensive reply she makes. She is fixated on demonstrating her lack of concern rather than on personal development. The irony is that those that are genuinely unconcerned don't make an announcement. She claps back sarcastically when supporters criticize her. Melody sidesteps questions about herself from interviewers. It says it all: avoidance. In contrast, Arian persistently tries to join discussions in which she was not invited. More about her anxieties than her target can be seen in her scathing writings about public compassion and phony recovery. She is aware that she is only relevant when she is close to other people's drama. It's a loop of resentment masquerading as bravery, and it's very terrible. Then there is the actual show, Marriage and Love. Without Melody to stabilize it, Huntsville is having trouble finding its pulse. Tisha is busy demonstrating the strength of her marriage. When Marcelo does interviews, he tries to sound serious. And with cool dignity, Kimmy is keeping things together. However, internet viewers continue to say the same thing. Simply put, it's not the same. It became increasingly clear that something essential was missing as Huntsville residents attempted to reassure the audience that the presentation was going well. It was evident in the tempo and the forced nature of the conversations, as if everyone was waiting for an unfulfilled spark. That light had been Melody. She was more than simply a drama queen. She made things move. Because her tale was authentic, every scene she appeared in carried weight. Her suffering, ambition, and development were all evident. Everything felt like filler now that she was gone. The producers began frantically trying to rekindle interest. Fans weren't buying it when they promoted new plot lines, teased hidden relationships, and even alluded to the arrival of new cast members. There was a common theme in the comments area of each episode: "Melody, where are you?" People began to realize how powerful she was at that point. Authenticity was more important than popularity. Faces may be swapped out, but that energy cannot be replicated. Huntsville is having to learn that lesson the hard way. Melody continued to quietly stockpile victories in Atlanta. In the meantime, she didn't boast. She didn't leave mysterious posts. She just moved gracefully. She was selling out her speaking engagements. New cities were being added to her brand. Above all else, she was content. Sincere joy. Her life had been completely reconstructed, and it wasn't lighting or makeup that gave off that radiance. Peace prevailed. Seeing her succeed without having to prove anything was what her detractors found most upsetting. However, Martell was unable to shake the shadow of his loss. His public persona has changed from endearing to disorganized. The more he spoke, the more people stopped paying attention. Fans bombarded the comments, reminding him of his own past each time he attempted to place the responsibility elsewhere. It was exhaustion, not hate. People had had enough of the same justifications. They brought too much baggage, and even his business endeavor began to feel tarnished. But what about Melody? Would still be the first inquiry when he introduced a new product tomorrow. Since the dismissal rumors became widely circulated, Destiny has been on the defense. She claims to be fine, to be working on new projects, to be booked, and to be blessed in every live stream, but her tone betrays this. She clearly misses the attention, the platform, and the approval. Ironically, she had all she required in order to remain. She had potential, beauty, and talent, but she let her pride and ego to stand in her way. She resisted criticism rather than growing from it. She erected barriers rather than displaying vulnerability. Furthermore, barriers don't make for entertaining TV. Her former supporters have gradually moved away. She is still occasionally brought up, but it is always in the past tense. Do you recall Destiny's coolness? Do you recall when we believed she would be the next big thing? Because it reminds you that people had higher expectations of you. This type of nostalgia hurts more than hate. Public opinion isn't Destiny, hurts more than hate. Public opinion isn't Destiny's current obstacle. She is the one. The audience won't return until she takes responsibility for her errors and ceases concealing her resentment. Conversely, Huntsville today seems like a separate planet. Everyone's imperfections appear more obvious when Melody isn't there to keep the turmoil in check. The cast chemistry appears to be broken, and the little disagreements seem senseless. Even most devoted viewers acknowledge that she took the soul of the show with her. However, that might be the way things naturally work. It's inevitable for some people to outgrow the spaces they began in. That is demonstrated by Melody's path. She won without shadow, retaliation, or approval. Her success story was her piece, and her leave didn't simply end in an era. Whether people like it or not, it revealed who was only standing because of her and who could get up without her.